Alright, so just to finish up task 17, as I said, I have my fecal sediment slide right here. So we're going to go ahead, put it on the microscope, and see if we see any parasite ova. Okay. So we're going to go up. We're going to just put it in here. We're going to turn on our light. We want to start on the 4 times power objective lens. Adjust this to my wide eyes. Okay, and then we're going to start the bottom left, and I usually go from a left to a right, and then I'll go up a little bit, I'll go right to left, go up a little bit, left to right, just to make sure that I'm covering every aspect of my cover slip of my sample, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So we're going to go ahead, we're just going to raise this up a little bit because it's a little far away. Alright. And we're going to use my left knob just to fine tune it a little bit. And so far, not seeing anything. A little more difficult with the goggles on. There we go. Okay. So we're going to also just fine tune it a little bit as we go along, looking for any parasite ova. Okay. So we're just going to switch over to the 10 times lens. So 10 times power objective lens. Alright, I'm going to go look into a little more detail. Again, so far not really seeing anything that is raising concern. See a couple artifacts here and there. Yeah, a couple artifacts and little tiny pieces of grass. But so far I'm not seeing any parasite ova at all. It's the end of my cover slip, so we're just going to go up a little bit. And then we're going to be going from left to right again. So far this friend is lucking out. I'm not seeing much of anything. Got a little air bubble. Alright, and that's the end of the cover slip. So again, we're just going to go up, and then we're going to go from right to left. Another little air bubble, little artifact. I'm still fine-tuning here and there with my left hand with the left knob. And then that is the end of this cover slip, so we're going to go up, and we're going to go from left to right. Still not seeing anything concerning, so this friend might be lucking out and not having any parasites. Fine tune it a little bit. Alright, that's the end of the cover slip. So then this is going to be my last section. We're going to go up, and then we're going to go from right to left. And again, this is the last section of the cover slip, so as long as we don't see any ova, we're going to go ahead and call this friend negative. So again, I've looked over the entire area of my cover slip. I don't see any parasite ova at all, so I'm going to go ahead and call this fecal sedimentation negative. I'm going to go let my doctor know, and also put it into his record in just a moment. So in the meantime, we're just going to turn off of the microscope light, excuse me. We're going to take our slide, and we're going to put it in the sharps container because we're all set with that. Okay. I'm just going to push this back a little bit. Okay. I did have the slide on the counter for a moment, so I'm just going to take some of our dual quat cleaner, and we're just going to spray the countertop, and I got my paper towel to wipe it up. Want to keep the area as clean as possible. This way it's all ready for use by our next technician with their sample. Okay. And again, just going to turn the camera because we want to also clean up our other area that we were on when we were doing the first couple of parts. So again, just going to use my dual quat cleaner. We're going to just take the cap and put it on here to throw all this in the garbage because we don't need any of it anymore. These were just my cover slips that stayed on the clean side, so I'm going to go ahead and close that and put this back over here where it belongs. And then everything else on here is closed. We're just going to roll it up in the paper towel because it's all garbage. We're going to put it in the garbage. And then we're going to go ahead and use the dual quat cleaner and some paper towels just to clean off this area as well because we want to keep it as clean as possible. Alright, one more paper towel just to want to make sure it's nice and dry. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now the area is clean, everything's good. Just before I touch the keyboard, I want to just take off my gloves because I was handling fecal matter. So I'm just going to take that off before I type on the computer, and I'm just going to put the results in the computer just to say that this friend's fecal sedimentation was all negative. So you can see that. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Alright. So I already have my patient up in the record here. His name is Gizmo. So we're going to go current client. We're just going to add item. And it looks like my computer is frozen for a moment. Please give me 1 sec. Alright, so that popped up. We're just going to select the doctor. Patients is Gizmo. We're going to say that it's open so that she'll read this as well, but I'm going to tell her verbally in just a moment. I'm going to put today's date, the time, and I'm just going to say I performed a fecal sedimentation in-house today for Gizmo. I did not see any parasite ova, so I am going to call this sample negative for parasites. my initials. We're going to hit apply. We're going to hit OK. And then that just popped up right here in the record. So I'm just going to zoom back out for a moment. Okay, so that is how you perform task 17, which is just performing a fecal sedimentation in-house.